Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night to you, wherever you may be. My name is Delma Titi Ahamba, and I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Chats with Themmy. Tonight, I am here to tell us the truth about ourselves, okay? So, whether you're joining live or you're going to be joining or watching the replay, do definitely put in the comment section hashtag replay so I know at what point you're watching the video or where you're watching the video from. Also, I appreciate that. So I know how far we're reaching in terms of the content I'm creating. Okay. But tonight I am very excited because this topic it's debatable and I am going to bring my perspective to this. All right. So ta-da, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Tonight's our simple truth, and quite often, uh, um, most people do not like to commit, to admit. They either say, "Oh, I'm an introvert. Oh, I'm too shy. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, blah blah blah." But here's the truth, okay? You want to know that truth? Everyone's a salesman. That's the truth in a nutshell. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what career path you're on, what your journey looks like. I am here to break the ice. I know it's debatable. A lot of people would say, "Oh, I'm a bit shy, so I don't get into sales." But the truth is, we're all selling something, okay? And like I said, it's debatable. And if you want to share your thoughts, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. For LinkedIn and Facebook, I'll be able to put your comments on the screen. For Instagram, I'll be able to read your comments aloud because I cannot, put it on the screen since I have to go live separately because it's not, integrated like Facebook and LinkedIn are. But yes, tonight's topic is everyone's a salesman. Okay? And I am going to show to you that you are a salesman. I am going to not convince you, I'm just going to share my thoughts on this simple fact. Okay? If if you want to debate it, definitely comment in the comment section. Let me hear your thoughts. If you're for or against, I'll be happy to know what you're thinking. So um here's why I said everyone's a salesman, okay? Whether you like to acknowledge it or not, whether you like to think of yourself as a salesman or a saleswoman or a salesperson or not, the truth is you're into sales, okay? You're definitely into sales. All right. This simple truth simply means that sales is an integral part of our daily lives. All right. Even if you don't explicitly say or you don't even consciously recognize that you're selling something, sales is part of our daily lives. All right. And I'm going to share some scenarios and let's see if I can buy into your thoughts tonight. All right. In many aspects of our lives, we engage in different activities, whether it's selling, whether it's convincing people of an idea, whether it's airing our opinion so, somebody can, take our sides or, take stands with us, you know, just just that. We're selling. Okay. And the thing is, sometimes you try to convince someone, sometimes you're doing pitches, anything you do, you're trying to present yourself in a certain way, whether it's yourself, whether it's your skill set. Like for instance, let's take a professional context. You apply for a job and then you go for an interview. All right. When you're applying for the job, essentially you're selling your skills to the company. You're selling your potential. You're selling your experience to the employer. Have you gone for an interview and they ask you why should we hire you? Have you gone for an interview and that's one of the fundamental questions? What makes you stand out? Why should we take you and not take the other person? Sometimes you're applying for maybe over 20 people or 50 people apply for one role, and then they're asking you what makes you stand out. Why do you think we should take you and not the other people? Now you start to give your sales page, let's say your elevator page or your interview page, right? Or your job page or your application page or whatever you want to call it. Then you start selling yourself to say, okay, I'm the best person for the job. I am a people's person. I'm XYZ. I have solved this XYZ kind of problem using ABC kind of method. And I've gathered some experience over the years. What are you doing? You're trying to put your best foot forward. You're selling yourself. You're selling your potentials. You're selling your skills. You're selling your experience. You are selling your story to be able to land that job. Okay? Now let's take another one. Say, for instance, you go for a networking event. Okay? And then you're meeting with other professional people in your space. Maybe it's a local networking event. Maybe it's even online. Maybe it's even offline. All right. But say you go for a networking event and then you're trying to build some professional relationship. So when you go for that event and try to talk to people, someone takes interest and try to, get to know you, what are you doing? You're showcasing your value as a professional. You're showcasing what you can offer to other people as a professional. You're demonstrating your strength. You're putting yourself out there. You are selling yourself. Okay? And when you go for an interview, you go for a business competition, you're applying to college to get placement into college, you go for a networking event, what do you try to do? You try to put your best foot forward. You're trying to sell your market very well. A lot of us don't like to admit to say, I'm into sales. I mean, after tonight, I want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I am the best salesman ever. I am the best sales lady ever. I'm the best sales professional ever, because it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or you're an extrovert. Okay? You are a salesman. Because every time you step out of your space, every time you connect with people, every time you reach out of your comfort zone, I'm sorry, you're going to sell yourself. All right. Now let's look at presentations and pitches. Whether you're pitching a project to your team, or you're presenting a business proposal, or you're selling an idea or a vision, you're selling. Okay. And what happens when you sell? You try to point whoever you're doing the presentation for, you try to point them in the right direction. All right. You try to show to them the benefits of what you're offering, the benefits of your ideas, the benefit of your skills, the benefits of your experience. All right. You're putting your best foot forward. So in everything we do, imagine you're a parent and then your kid come to you and say, oh, mom or dad, I want you to buy me, I want you to buy me a doll versus a car, or something like that. And then you ask the kid, why should I buy you a doll? Why not a car? Or why not a kitchen set or whatever? Why not a teddy bear? And then your kid starts to convince you on why they want X versus why they want Y. They're selling their idea to you. They're selling their desires to you. Or say, for instance, you are not in a position to get something for your kid, or maybe your kid wanted to go to the ice cream shop, and then you probably have a meeting and you cannot make it there. And then you try to convince your kid to reason with you. What are you doing? You're selling your idea to your kid. You're selling your point of view to your child. So whether you like it or yes, you are a salesman. Okay? Everyone's a salesman. We're selling something one way or the other. Okay? All of us are selling something. We're selling our product, we're selling our services, we're selling our skill set, we're selling our education, our solutions as in our mind, we're selling our images. And because you're a salesman, it's important for you to build your personal brand. Because like I said, people will address you, how do you call it? You should dress how you want to be addressed, right? So to be able to attract the kind of people you want to buy into you, you want to be able to look the part. So it's very, very important to build your personal brand, because why? You're a salesman. Nobody wanna invest into a salesman who doesn't offer value. And the interesting part is we are often judged by how we present ourselves, by how we look, by how we interact with people. Okay? Before somebody wanna have a meeting with you, they're gonna judge you from your interaction online, from the content you post online, from the kind of conversations you involve yourself in, or the kind of conversations you invest your time in having online, offline, anywhere, hybrid. Okay? So, because you are a salesman, you want to present yourself in a certain way. You want to be very conscious of how you present yourself. Today, I came across a content online, and somebody was like, I think it was, yeah, it's a friend of mine who posted that you should be mindful of the things you share on social media, because it will, make or mar your image. And then someone, what caught my eye was another guy's comment under that post that said, "This was how I introduced, a friend to to an employer to get a job, and they lost the job based on the kind of picture that was in their profile picture on WhatsApp when they reached out to the employer. And the employer is a very strict and religious person. I think he was a pastor or something. And then this guy who was from the comment, this person who was recommended to the employer, I think they had some kind of nudity picture kind of stuff on their WhatsApp story. And I mean, we all know how it's gonna go, because the thing is, there is no second chance for first impression, as is always said. There is no second chance for first impression. So when you interact with people, when you connect with people, when you reach out to people, when people reach out to you, you wanna be very sure of what you're doing. Okay, you want to be very sure you look the part. You want to be very sure that you're presenting yourself in a way that commands respect, in a way that speaks to your brand as a salesperson. Like I said, whether you like to admit it or not, you are selling something. You're selling your skills, you're selling your image, you're selling your you're selling your potentials, you're selling your experience, you're selling. All right? And the thing is, people will buy into you, or people usually would buy based on trust. Nobody's going to buy something that they do not trust the solution or the answer to their pain points that that product or service provide. And here's the reason why it's important to build your personal brand, because people will buy into you as an individual before they will buy into your product or service. And if you're an expert, if you're a service provider, you want to be very intentional about your personal brand. You want to, I like to call that your already existing solid support system. You Somebody wants to buy from me simply because I'm Thelma. Simply because I have come to the level where I've built credibility. They trust me as a person. They know me as a person. They like me as a person. And in sales, people want to know who you are. Then you give them the opportunity to like or dislike you. And when they come to like you, then you also have the opportunity to take it the next step further. Then they can trust or not trust you. All right. But like I said, every one of us, whether we like to admit it or not, all of us are salesmen. Now let's take it to the personal context. For instance, I think I spoke about this already. You talking to your child and convincing them to, you know, whether you want to buy them doll versus car. I think I said it earlier. You're selling your viewpoint. You're selling your point of view. And I spoke to this also. Um, the way you interact online, offline, it says a lot. It speaks a lot, especially in social gatherings. It speaks a lot about your image as a person. Okay, it says a lot about you as a person. So you want to acknowledge the fact that wherever I find myself, I am a salesperson. I am a salesman. Would my ideal client, would my dream audience, would they want to, you know, experience me in this way that I am right now? Would my dream, my dream client want to interact with me the way I'm presenting myself right now? Not every conversation is worth having. Not every content is worth engaging. Okay? You want to keep that right here. Not every conversation is worth having. Not every content is worth engaging. All right? So you don't want to find yourself in every conversation. Because why? You are a salesman. When you step outside of your room, when you step outside of your space and get online in the public, you want to ask yourself, will I be proud of what my ideal audience, what my dream client is going to experience right now? With me airing this view about this topic that may not speak good about who I am, would they want to experience me this way? All right. The thing is, every time, every day, people make decisions about us. When you uh, 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 um, when you're making choices, you're participating in sales. When you're helping someone to decide, or someone's helping you to decide about something, when you're recommending products or services to others based on your experiences, you are participating in sales. That product that you use, that's your favorite product, though the CEO may not know you, the business may not know you, but you're selling on their behalf. When you share your review, when you share your thoughts, when you share your experience, you are selling. When you get online and say, this Netflix movie is the best ever. I think I came across a movie, I don't know, it says Behind Her Eyes. Someone posted that. I mean, she watched it. I think it's Behind Her Eyes. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think she watched it and she posted, she was like, this is the best, the best movie on Netflix right now. Whether or not she knows that, she just showed someone that movie, and now somebody's going to invest more than an hour to sit on their couch and enjoy that movie because someone they like, know, and trust says this. So I want to go watch it. So she just sold them that movie. When you talk about your friends' product, services, skills, and everything, when you are talking to an employer, when you're recommending somebody, you are selling someone. So every day we help people decide. We ourselves were deciding. When you go out and you're trying to advocate for a cause, you are selling. Okay? You're selling your ideas to gain support. When you go out there talking about you know women empowerment or men's mental health, or abandoned children or orphans, and whatever the topic is, whatever the course is, You are selling, you are selling your passion, your belief in something. You are selling that. That's why I said this is a common truth about all of us, though some of us do not like to admit it, but everyone's a salesman. As salespeople present themselves in a certain way. So before you go out there to present yourself in a certain way, ask yourself, when I meet my dream client, when I meet my dream sponsor, when I meet my target audience, do I want them to see me in this light? What can I do to get someone to buy into me, to buy into my product, to buy into my service, to buy into my image, to buy into my belief or my advocacy? For every successful sales interaction, the bottom line is trust. They either trust the solution the product or service is bringing their way or providing to their pain points, or they trust the one who's selling it to them. Okay? Whether you're selling a product, service, an idea, trust influences the decision-making process significantly. They either, like I said, they either trust the solution that product is going to bring, or they trust the person that's convincing them about that. And when you talk about trust, what first thing that comes to mind is credibility. How credible is this information? How credible is this product? Can it solve my problems? Okay? So the expertise and knowledge, you demonstrating deep knowledge and expertise about what you're selling builds credibility. If you appear knowledgeable, if people listen to you and they can gain something from whatever you're saying, from whatever you're doing, and you demonstrate your competence, guess what? You're building credibility. Okay? The next thing when you're building credibility is honesty and transparency. You want to be very honest about the pros and cons of the products or services you're offering. That's why when you go for a job interview, they'll ask you like, what are some of your strengths and what are some of your weaknesses? Don't they ask you? They do ask you that, right? Sometimes they'll ask you what was a project you've worked on in the past that didn't turn out so well or didn't turn out as you expected it to turn out. And you want to be very honest in that moment to say, okay, because why? Nobody gets it right the first time. But when you're a salesperson, you want to make sure you are very honest and transparent about the pros and cons about whatever you're selling. When you're genuine with the person you're selling to about the potential limitations and challenges or stuff, it demonstrates your integrity. When you're selling, you want to build relationship. I would definitely probably have the time to talk about this someday, but a lot of people make a mistake. A lot of people want to sell something without building relationships. Okay? You don't want to jump and go sell something without building rapport. All right? Because at the end of the day, when people do their due diligence, you want them to see something that speaks to your integrity, your credibility, your honesty, your authenticity. All right? You want them to be able to see something. And when you're consistently delivering value, it helps in building a reliable reputation. When you meet expectation and you exceed expectation, it reinforces trust from whoever you're trying to get to buy into whatever you're doing. Building relationship is also building your own personal relationship, your own personal connection, building rapport, and showing genuine interest in other people's needs and concerns. Okay? When you demonstrate, when you say, okay, I am offering this because I care about this business. Thank you, Oprah. She said, thanks for this topic. Many people don't know whether they are already salespeople and they're so scared to do it publicly. Exactly. We're all salesmen. So we're either selling our ideas, we're selling our services, we're selling our products, or we're selling our image, our very self. Okay? Ex Yes, okay. I'm not trying to be biased, but okay, in my experience, this particular question has always come from introverts. Like I said, I'm not trying to be biased. I'm just trying to share my experience. This question, will I be selling anything if they come across something that they're interested in? For me, from my experience, I don't have anything against introverts, okay? From my experience, it always comes from introverts. But the truth is, you're already selling something. The fact that you're getting yourself out there, the fact that you're even applying for a job or applying to a college or, doing whatever, you are selling. You're already selling. You just need to be decisive to say, okay, I am selling my skills. I am selling my product in your home. I demonstrated it earlier. Your child comes to tell you, you promise this, or I want to buy this versus that. And you try to sell your point of view to the child every single day. We are selling. We're selling. You try to convince your partner, maybe let's say you want to move to a new neighborhood because it's fancy or it's quiet, or maybe it's on the outskirts, or maybe it's by the river. And then your partner's like, you know what? I think we have other things to focus on. And you try to, convince your partner why you guys need to move into that community, maybe have caliber of people, why your kids need to go to certain school. You are selling your point of view. You are a salesman. The sooner you realize that, the more intentionally you will show up, and the more you unlock opportunities for yourself. You just need to look yourself in the mirror and say, Thelma, you're a great saleswoman. You're a great sales professional. You're a great salesperson. So look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I am a sales professional, because you're selling something. When you show up at work every single day, you're selling yourself. You're selling your solutions at your job. Why do you think you get promotions at your job? Of everybody, why did they promote you? Why did they promote that person? Because sales comes with results. When you're selling something, you want to be able to produce results. Okay? That's why I said everyone's a salesman. All of us. All of us were selling something. Okay? Now let me go next. So when you're selling, what happens? That's what you call the follow through or follow up or whatever. Another thing is you want to be able to demonstrate yourself as someone who's dependable. Before and after sales, what happens? Customers want to reach out to you for support. Like, for instance, you're having a conversation and you're trying to, get someone to, buy into your idea or your thoughts. And you're like, if you need any clarity, let me know. You're offering after sales support. All right. That's great customer service. You're offering after sales support. Sales involves follow up and follow throughs. Okay. So when you're like, oh, you need clarity on that, get back to me and I'll be happy to walk you through the process. It doesn't matter if it's your kid you're talking to, or your partner, or your colleague, or your, course mate, classmate. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. That's sales. Because why? You're going to gain your trust in the process. Now listen up to a very sweet part, okay? Customer centric approach. When you show empathy, When you show empathy towards other people's situation, other people's challenges, it helps in building a very strong trust-based relationship. When you show empathy towards your kids, when you show empathy towards your partner, when you show empathy towards your neighbor. For instance, somebody buys a product from a company and they come and tell you, oh, okay, I worked in the tech space before in the GSM space, and then customer comes back and say, "Oh, I got my internet service and I paid for 1 month, and all of a sudden my internet blew up and everything." What do we do in the office? We're very sorry. Can we, can you give us the details of your number or your plan or whatever, and let us check to see what really happened? When you show empathy, you're building trust. Okay? You're trying to build trust with the customer to let the customer know that I'm not just all about your money. I care about you. When you do that to your husband, you do that to your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you do that to your kid, you're building trust. Then guess what? When you air your view, they buy into your ideas. Because why? You are a salesman. Every day we sell. Every day. At home, at school, in the job, we sell anything and everything. Okay? We're all salesmen. You want to look a certain way to attract a certain people, a certain type of audience. You're selling your image. You are selling. Okay? Now let's go to another sweet spot. Listening and understanding. When you actively listen to your customer needs and concerns and tailoring your offering to meet those needs and concerns, build trust. At home, your kid tells you, Mom, when you do XYZ, it makes me feel bad or it makes me feel sad or hurt my feelings. You want to talk through it with your kids. You want to understand. As a parent, you won't get it right all the time. You're not always right because you're a parent. No. When your spouse point out some things that are rough edges for you and you try to listen and adjust, you're selling. What do companies do? When a customer go and bash them online and say, I did this, it was horrible, or I called the customer service and they had me on, or the person I called could not help me, and blah 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 blah. What do businesses do? They try to adjust, to listen to their customer pinpoints, their concerns, right? And they try to rectify it. Why? Because they're selling something. You do that at home all the time. You do that with your kids. You do that with your partner. You do that with your loved ones, with your friends. Because why? You are a salesman. You're selling. Okay? So don't be shy to go out like I said, doctors are selling, nurses are selling, IT support techs, they are selling. You say, oh, I'm just behind the scene. The CEO is selling. The operations person, the administrative support, they are selling. We're all selling. How did you land that job? You sold your skill set. You sold your experience. You sold your potential to the employer. Ladies and gentlemen, how did you get that partner? You sold yourself so smoothly into their lives and you finally made them fall in love with you. You sold. Because why? We're all salesmen. Okay? I wish I could go on and on and on tonight because this is very interesting. A lot of time people try to shy away from saying, oh, I'm not into sales. Oh, I'm too shy. I mean, they sell at home, they sell at work, they sell at school, they sell in their neighborhood. We're all salesmen. All right? So from today, go look yourself in the mirror and say you're going to be the best salesperson ever. You want to recognize that you're constantly in a position of selling, whether it's your abilities, your ideas, or your character. The next thing you want to do, you want to focus on building trust. in your interactions. You want to be honest, you want to be transparent, you want to be reliable. You want to be able to understand your audience, whether your audience are your kids, your loved ones, your relatives, your customers, your employers, your peers. You want to understand their needs and tailor your approach accordingly. You want to be able to communicate effectively. That's what salespeople do. You want to communicate effectively with your target audience. Once you understand your target audience, you want to be able to communicate. You cannot be speaking jargons to a 5-year old. The way you will talk to your partner, you cannot talk to your kid that way. You want to clearly and effectively communicate to be able to sell your ideas, to be able to sell your skills, to be able to sell your experience, to be able to sell your services and your products. To be successful in selling whatever it is you're selling, you want to ensure that your message is clearly understood and it addresses the concerns of your target audience. Always, always top notch. Deliver value. Always aim to deliver value in what you're selling. Whether it's tangible products or it's a service and an idea, whatever it is. You're convincing your partner to watch a Netflix movie. My husband will tell me there are some movies I don't watch. I don't do horror movies because my my memory can be very messed up. Like I will be so scared watching it, and then the aftermath of that movie is going to haunt me. Either I have a bad dream. So I just respect myself. I don't do certain movies. I don't just do certain movies. I love romantic movies. I love science fiction movies. I love legal movies. So sometimes if my husband is trying to get me to watch a movie that I may think may be scary, he'll tell me, he's like, babe, I've already watched this and I know it's something you like. This will help you to think. This will help you to, to calculate and start investigating and start putting one, two together and start capturing the picture. And sometimes I'm like, are you sure that's gonna the name of the film is scary? Are you sure it's gonna be? And most of the time when he convinces me to watch a certain movie, I get to like it. Because he has cracked the code of convincing me to watch a certain movie. Especially if I think that movie is gonna be scary, it's just going to give me nightmares today. All right. So he tries to sell the benefits of the movie and how it's going to, benefit me. And he knows movies that I like to watch, like for instance, legal movies that will make you to start, all these investigative movies and stuff that will make you to start putting things together to say, okay, this puzzle doesn't fit this one. It looks like this person committed a crime. That kind of movie is kind of stuff I like. And of course, romantic movies. So to be able to convince someone, you need to be able to strike a spot where you know this thing is going to offer value to this person. And that's the how do you call it? That's a unique value proposition you can sell to them for them to be able to buy into you, or buy into your ideas, or buy into you trying to convince them to do something. All right. So as a wrap up tonight, I hope I was able to get you in on my thought of sharing my pieces on this fact that we are all salesmen. Okay? I hope I was able to convince you because I give you tons of scenarios from home to school to work and everything. Okay? So when you step out tomorrow, as you're stepping out this week, as you're stepping out this month, look in the mirror before you leave your space and tell yourself, I am the best salesman ever. Because you have gotten so many people to buy into your ideas. You got that job because you sold your skills right. You got that partner because, you flex and you definitely give your juice out. And then they finally fell in love with you. You've convinced your kids to do stuff so many, countless times. You sold your ideas to them. You got them to buy into your ideas. You're not just a salesman, you are a successful salesperson because you have sold a lot of different things. You just need to get to that realization that you're a salesperson and you've been selling this entire time. So there's nothing stopping you. Go out there and be the best salesman ever. I hope tonight's conversation was valuable. And yeah, until tomorrow, enjoy your day, your night, your evening, your week, your month. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.